Yeah, and then they pick Queen of Pain, so just
Okay.
a hero that Solji has gone for before, just to not lose lane versus some of these other mid laners. But yeah, well, we'll see. Because Wolf Team, they are still flexible. It could be Pango or Primal Beast mid, depending on what they really want to do. But I still am very confident in just the Primal Beast Techies lane. I think it's probably one of the best lanes in the game, honestly, just for in terms of just killing you and making your game almost impossible. And then Venoban. Interesting. Okay. Still staying in line with your ranged offlaners here for Fade, and felt do need a Fade hero, but kind of out of left field. I don't think he's played it so far in this tournament. Just again, not wanting to, I guess, be stuck in that overextension, the issue with Primal Beast where you're really great at getting in, but not so good at walking away from a lot of engagement. So sure, I could see it. It's not the, slam dunk, immediate damage into Chronosphere, but could have become problematic. And then they ban out Fade's Night Stalker, which would have made, again, landing that Chronosphere so much easier, which is why they typically like to go for it in so many of their other drafts, but not available. Wolf Team know who they're playing against.
Back-to-back games now with bans on Fade's Night Stalker too, and that's the other part about it, right? They ban it out in the second or third phase, or I think it was third phase both times, because they know if they're going to run Fade on the Night Stalker, they're not going to show that play early on. They're going to try and hold it for as long as possible. So that also means you can hold your ban until the last possible second here too, and Fade's going to have to figure out something else. In the meantime, though, one last ban to remove an HFN hero ET. No Dusa, no Morphling, no Templar Assassin. So you're off to a decent start there so far, and they close it out with the ban on the Ursa.
Okay, and well, Ursa leans you into thinking that they're going to be picking a melee hero just a little bit. Otherwise, I don't think you would ban out HFN Ursa. I don't think he's played Ursa in the tournament so far.
Hmm.
He's always been on more of those hyper type carries. And while for HFN, of course, Luna's still in the pool. Luna's still not a bad option when it comes to what he wants to play with. Perhaps ranged wise, he does have a cookie in his lane. He really wants to, then maybe they could go so far as to look back in the draft at like a jug, but I don't think they have to do that at all. I think they just want something that's not going to lose versus whatever Fade goes for. And I think the safe pick is probably a ranged hero here. Don't want to see like the Drow Ranger or anything like that, even though Wolf Team could go for a silence. I think Gust actually feels really nice in their lineup, but aside from that, I feel like the Luna is just, again, the obvious pickup, but maybe they surprise us here. They've surprised us before, but anything that just doesn't die at a Faceless Void or pushes just as hard whenever that Chronosphere is down is going to let you win, and they go
Okay.
for the Naga Siren. So, well, there you go. That's a hero that's going to itemize for Orchid, is going to give quite a few problems for you. Now, even if you get your fantastic combo down with Chrono Earth Splitter, well, Naga just walks it in. Unless you're BKB'd, your damage ceases. And once you get that Ag Shard on Naga, everybody heals up. So even if the combo lands, even if you've got 3 heroes in dire straits, if the Naga Siren's not in that Chronosphere, the team fight's blown open. And now, what are we picking for Fade? Is it the Leshrac offlane? I feel like it might have to be Leshrac offlane, but other than that, I'm really scrambling for heroes here. Not the most traditional offlaner by any means, and of course, not the best combo with Marcy, but it is a combo with Marcy. You can at least get both of your spells kind of landing at the same time, but aside from that, I'm kind of grasping the dark here for Fade. Could also pick, I was gonna say maybe the Timbersaw, but then, it looks like a great Timbersaw game on paper, but perhaps there are some more issues down the line. And then again, you are all in on Paradise and his spell usage because you have no stuns from your mid lane.
Oh,
And Legion. Okay.
okay. Well, it's not bad. You got some lockdown to work with. Technically, if you win those duels, you are going to scale a little bit, and I could see overwhelming odds maybe giving the Naga Siren a bit of a hard time, but still not a very popular offlane pick here, ET, but considering what they were working with, I don't really know what else you would have picked that would have felt that much better.
Yeah. No, and it does tick a few of those boxes. Gives you some kill potential, gives you somebody to play with. It's going to be a little bit more difficult in the Naga lane, but also is kind of a Naga counter just because you do have the overwhelming odds to actually perhaps push HFN out of lane, but again, it's just another hero that might just get spoiled by that Song of the Siren. So we'll have to see. And there is a lot to actually live up to here for Fade. And if he can, shut the door in front of HFN, maybe this is just the counter. And maybe this is a good enough counter for them to actually press the issue here. And of course, he's got damage. He's got an Earth Splitter. He's got Soldier. He's just going to jump everything he can onto those duels. Just a matter of whether those duels actually land. And I think the bigger problem is when Fade gets his BKB, because for a lot of this game, you have so much damage coming from Wolf Team's backline, from FCR, from KJ, from King R&D. If you drop the ball for just a second and you don't get greedy enough and you actually just try to play without that spell immunity, I feel like you could just die. I feel like the team fight for Wolf Team is just so stellar on that front. They don't have any setup with Naga, which again does maybe point some fingers at HFN and seeing if this was just the absolute right pick for them. But again, it's all about that counterplay. And if you get a Naga Song of the Siren into, let's say, a Rolling Thunder, into, let's say, Kisses, into a King RD onslaught, maybe that's going to be the combo where they just turn a game on its head. But we'll have to see. A little bit less confident here from Wolf Team, but still feel like they've got something going for them. And again, looking at mid lane, Solji, you better play your heart out here. I better see this Pango die. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to be happy with the draw.
Yeah, it's going to be a game where he really does need to step up here with the Queen of Pain, but let's see how it goes. Let's see if the Legion Commander ever gets to do anything, because you were talking about all the lockdown that Wolf Team had, and I'd even sort of forgotten at that point. I mean, you're going into a techies, right? So this taser, you just get disarmed in the middle of a duel or before you try to duel, then what the hell do you even really do? So it's not going to be a fun time. The timing has to be so perfect for Fade, or he could get a quick BKB and then like 90% of those concerns go away. But that is not going to be coming out early on in the game.
No, definitely not. And, well, we'll have to see. A little bit of scouting here. They see the Snapfire down bottom, so already they're going to know that Wolf Team is maybe on the aggressive right now, but they'll have to be careful. It's the Sticky Bomb plus Trample combo where the slow just lasts for so long, and then you end up eating so much magic damage. The only one who can afford to stick his nose out is Paradise, because he's got the Time Walk, but even then, very short range.
It's going to send out the Spirit, do a little bit of scouting. I don't know if it's actually really going to be able to hit much of anything here, but he just wanted the information. And now we'll see if there is going to be a fight on the runes here. Ein and Solji want to try and contest for it, but it's not really going to go their way. And well, up on the high ground, you saw FCR and KJ trying to do some work here as well, but KJ actually gets hit by the rebound. Is there enough damage out from this Elder Titan? As of right now, it looks like no. He is going to be forced to back away, and there's going to be the Scatterblast slow into the Trample, into the Sticky Bomb slow. Is it going to be enough? Ein just barely walks away. Oh, well. I mean, he lives, and that's the most important aspect, but there's going to be his salve coming out before he even gets to lane ET, so now if you're Wolf Team, maybe a little bit more incentive to try and get some actual damage to stick onto Paradise, because you don't have that easy heal up for maybe a minute or two until the courier comes out and delivers another.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot to be in, and we already see, these players. It's funny, we haven't seen an Elder Titan in this entire tournament, but already they know exactly what they need to do. You have to get control over the small camp, even sometimes get control of the medium camp to make sure that he doesn't get those stacks up, so he doesn't have the massive spirit. But we'll have to see how Ein actually decides to play, because, of course, I think a large reason why we see it in this game is because it is the stand-in situation. Maybe it's just something that he prefers over a lot of different heroes, but whether or not this lane is a success, well, who knows? We'll have to see once we get a few more levels on that Primal Beast. That's where everything turns. But top, the damage, it ends up being too much. And level 2 on Illusion, didn't even have to use the Dispose, but just that rebound and damage and slow.
Yeah, rebound in, overwhelming odds on HFN and his support. It's a pretty decent amount of damage, even at level 1, if you're all sort of standing together like that. So they're able to hit him up. Illusion goes for the Dispose there. That's maybe a little overly ambitious at this point. And now Fade, well, he's kind of standing in no man's land, but without the cookie stun from KJ, They really can't do anything there, so... Unfortunate for the snap. If you were level 2, maybe you could do something. Instead, he's going to get jumped in on. There's going to be the dispose. Rebound connects. Overwhelming odds are in. And the moment of courage proc. KJ, well, without that, he might have actually gotten away, but the counterattack hits him, and another kill up top here for Felt.
No, just very seamless. Didn't feel too bad. And gotta be careful, because it's where levels start to become slightly problematic for you. There is a trade, though.
Okay.
Both team get their first kill. Eventually, they're able to get the kill onto the Elder Titan in that bottom lane. But aside from that, back top, HFN's on so much pressure right now. Just keeps on getting right-clicked back into the wave, and that's where those flag bearer creeps. Fade just can afford to sit here and just hit you. And of course, he wins because he's got moment of courage. He just heals up so quickly. And KJ, who actually just had to buy a smoke and then walk all the way back towards towards top, his lane is not looking so hot right now. And HFN, the lower he is, even though he still has to cast Mirror Image, these illusions are 1 or 2 right clicks away from death. They're just not very tanky.
Not last long at all. Meanwhile, down bot, there's going to be the Elder Titan going down again. King RD gets it. King RD, though, may die for this. Oh, no. Paradise is not going to go all the way in, so... Okay. Wolf team get away with another one there. Tie it up at 2-2, and... Well, now King RD gets into the danger zone, right? 2 points in trample. Once he hits level 4, he'll have the onslaught as well, and Paradise might be able to just hold Time Walk to get himself away, but when the Elder Titan comes back, you have 0 means of avoiding that unless you get a perfectly timed Echo Stomp down.
Ooh, and, well, runs away, escapes.
Oh,
Everybody
wow.
is so low. Oh my goodness. Across the map.
FCR... I don't know if that was a good idea. Yeah, that's... Okay. Tries to get the kill, too far under tower, tries to run away, Paradise catches him out, and I think that was the dilation damage that actually got the last hit in, but it is going to be a kill, and up top, well, they've been bullying KJ the whole time, ET, but now they actually get HFN, okay, and they get KJ too. Why settle for 1? It's Fade.
And now Fade needs to die,
Yep.
and he will just kill himself to the tower, but no, this is great stuff. Both are, again, doing very well in their lanes across the board. Everything's kind of going their way. They just need to keep their heads clear, especially this next set of regen and spells. Just not get too overly aggressive here, especially in bottom lane. That's where, so I was talking about with Primal Beast, every level is just so much more damage. You could just get turned on if you're not careful, especially if he just pops out a big uproar and then steps on you. But no, this Legion Commander is working out beautifully for them.
3-1-1 for the LC so far, so it's gone quite nicely. Middle lane, though, things are getting kind of dicey, but look at Illusion TPing in. He's got the rotation there, and Suits is the one to lose it. Go from 1 hit away from a kill to suddenly losing any sort of advantage in this middle lane, and Mars is going to drop a sentry here. It's a little bit off the mark to actually... Or is it? No, it will still see the ward, so they do get the D ward down. Of course, down bot. Yeah, it's still level 4 Primal Beast, so the Elder Titan does have to suffer for that play, but trade is going to work for Felt across the entirety of the map. This trade, though, could be a little bit worse. Illusion needs to get out of here. Does HFN not have Ensnare? No, he does not, so never mind. RC's going to be pretty much fine.
And now you've got that divide where HFN is farming a large camp as opposed to the lane. He's been forced completely out, and now you're getting pressure with the cart onto the tower. You're still nuking in the wave. You're inching closer to that level 6. And then the only hero to come up here and fix it is probably the Primal Beast or the Pango, but they come up here, it's really more so for a kill than anything. And even KJ, well, gonna be able to cookie pass, but no boots. I feel like he's just gonna go down. It's gonna be a little bit hard to track down, but you're gonna get that. Nobody's getting XP in the top lane. It just, again, continues to be a huge victory. Nice juke, though. And they actually are gonna miss him with some spells, too, so the cart will die. The KJ's heroics actually paying off quite nicely here.
Nice bit of time bot. HFN's able to get back into the lane, so fancy footwork out from the Snapfire. Of course, now they need to be careful because Fade's starting to get close to that level 6 mark, and then the nature of this lane kind of changes. As bottom, yeah, able to catch it just in time. The ET gets taken down once again as FCR is able to find that kill, but back up top, we're just fighting everywhere. KJ gets picked off, Illusion jumps in, he's the one to grab the kill, so Fade, doesn't get the gold for it, but still, this top lane going incredibly well for them. They missed onto KJ the first time in the tree line, but that time they connect.
Yeah, and now all you have to be careful about is when this Pango decides to get active. But speaking of the Pango, there is a Marcy in his lane right now, so we'll have to see. And a KJ will come and refill up his mid bottle, but that's where I think if they really want to make a good attempt at that Faceless Void, the Pango needs to go there, and they don't want to do that. And they're actually going to look mid, but it's just too difficult of a play to be made. And well, now Suits, yeah, he didn't use Blink, he just walked that one back, and yeah, they're a little bit too passive right now. And with the success of top Illusion, who's level 5, rotates bottom, gets a kill into the Primal Beast.
Primal Beast, who was all the way under the tower there, so... kind of a weird one for King RD to be there, considering he didn't really have FCR to back him up in that scenario, but gets punished for it, and... well, Felt? They're eyeing up the river here. Illusion's gonna grab the Illusion Rune. Suits rolling his way in, but this is not the best of initiations. Maybe they can get Illusion here. It's a nice kill, but I don't know if they're going to get much more than that. And Solji has Sonic Wave, so Seuss, yeah, he's got to be careful, but he's just going to charge in, and that's not a fight that he wins. 1-for-1 trade. Can they catch up to KJ as well? He doesn't have any spells available. And at this point, it really does feel like they're just going to run him down over time as Solji picks it up. FCR is able to get away, but I don't think you care about that one. 2 kills, both of which go to your Queen of Pain, and you have shut that Pango down again.
Yeah, and really, all FCR can sit and watch in horror. He can't cast his Suicide because he's just going to die after the fact. He has to just wait around and wait for the Sticky Bomb, but they get punished for that read. And it does reset the side lanes a little bit because we end up in those 1v1s, but as we talked about before, with Fade hitting level 6 and even level 7 here, HFN can't really afford to stay top, so he's forced back deeper into the jungle, and the supports will catch wind of him just a little bit here, but HFN will also see what's going on, and with Suits coming over, oh, maybe this is the Elder Titan dying, but oh no, Paradise gave up his life bottom.
So they get the kill on the Elder Titan. FCR and King RD combine forces to take Paradise out before really any Chrono could come in, and now they're going to get the tower here as well, so Wolf Team, well, a nice little swing of momentum. However, yeah, here's where the problems start. HFN does get caught in that jungle. They're going to trade him out for Fade, though, and, well, I think they're going to get the Marcy here as well. Illusion tries to heal up with a little bit from the stick, but it isn't going to be enough. He will fall. Solji has to blink away. He kills Sooth's Courier as he goes, I guess, so there's some economic damage done, and I also did not realize KJ died, but FCR actually managed to deny him. Techie's denying someone. That's a very rare occurrence, well, other than himself, back when he had Suicide Squad, but that means really HFN's death is the only one that actually pays out any gold to Felt.
And well, King RD got the Onslaught, doesn't have TP, but without that much mana on the Queen of Pain, I think the only way he dies now is if he sticks around too long, but
Trying to hunt HFN again, though.
yeah.
I mean, this is what they did not do in Game 1, right? They didn't hunt down the HFN heroes, so the TA, despite having a slow start, was able to catch up. They're really wary of that exact same thing playing out here again, which it's a Naga Siren. It very well could, so you do need to keep that pressure on, but Seuss is trying to make something happen here. He's got Rolling Thunder up in 1. Can Fade get a duel off? No, he doesn't. Not because he couldn't, but because he doesn't want to. I think he maybe saw the Mortimer Kisses coming in, so they decide they don't want to be dueling up with Mortimer Kisses raining down on them, but that means Illusion has to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and ever so slightly, you're starting to get a few more levels. You're starting to actually just get out of that early game stage that a Midas finished up on HFN. The question is, have you done enough so far? Or are some of these plays starting to slip away from you? Because now, HFN's level 8. If he wants, he just retreats into the jungle and he will farm as fast as Nagas will farm and have farmed in this tournament so far. And they smoke up. Without the kisses, though, and seeing that they are smoked with the way the Snapfire broke, well, King RD is now shooting in the dark here for a play that probably won't pan out.
Yeah, that was... I think it made a little bit of a miscommunication there between some of those guys, but... well, if Solji gets way too aggressive... no, never mind. Yeah, that wasn't really going to happen. So Seuss just says, screw it. I'll break the smoke here. Clear out a creep wave. Bit of a broken play for them. In the meantime, Fade got himself the blade mail coming out to him on the courier, so we still haven't really seen an actual duel from him to this point, but he is set up quite nicely when he does eventually try to catch someone. Speaking of potentially catching, though, I think for now he's going to be able to avoid that. FCR and King RD weren't really looking in his direction. They are looking bot, though, where Paradise, yeah, very quickly decides, let's get out of here.
Was able to walk that one away. Of course, King RD is happy with that. He just stopped on the creep wave, but that's where Wolf Team start to take that gold lead. It's also where Felt don't really have that next obvious play in Fade, who ended up going for a blade mail instead. They're looking mid, and HFN, well, they can't really afford to lose him here, but he's walking this one out. Does he get clipped by the Earth Splitter? No, Solji dives to finish it off, but is he going to have to give his life is the real question.
King RD's going to get in. There's the Pulverize. They've got the Kisses coming down as well, so Solji does end up going down. Illusion dies as well, but there is a Chrono into the middle of that river. They caught out Seuss, who was just trying to keep them occupied while his teammates dealt with the rest of the lineup. Technically, he succeeds, but the cost is a little bit high. But with King RD still in here, he is going to try and make something happen. Doesn't really have spells, though. Yeah. Sticky Bomb does go off for a little bit of damage, but I don't know if this is enough. Oh, God, Fade. Yeah, that's not how that works. That's not going to be enough to survive it, as that bomb actually does get cleaned up first, so it doesn't go off, and now King RD should die. That is a very strange one for Fade to get caught out on, but at least they're able to trade it out, right? King RD does go down, killing spree taken, so you're able to scrape together something there, but that whole fight, BT really just felt like kind of two fights. There was Solji's maneuver behind the tower, and then there was the rest of the fight in the river.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you still killed the Naga. You didn't have to trade away your mid laner. You had to trade away pretty much everybody except from your Faceless Void, but your Faceless Void being the survivor is very nice. And I think you do get slightly more if you are Felt, but now, no Chrono, no Sonic Wave for 40 seconds. We might be stuck in the downtime of this game, but they could take a little bit of downtime for Felt. They would love Fade to get his Blink Dagger finished up before they're forced into too many plays here. Of course, that will delay up that BKB that is going to become very important for him, but they do kind of need another way to initiate whenever there isn't a Chronosphere. They just don't have very big pick-off potential here unless they're just all sitting in the trees and then hope to get a rebound off from the Marcy. But in doing so, you're giving time to the Naga, who's looking for that Manta style, and of course, also farming with the Midas. HFN is not going to get caught. He will just be farming a lot faster than you on the Void.
Meanwhile, middle lane, Suits getting pressured up here. He was able to get that Rolling Thunder out, though. He's... okay, for a moment I thought he was maybe angling to see if he could get Illusion, but if you do that on the Pango, that's a one-way trip. He would almost certainly die for it, so... pulls it back, heals up. Meanwhile, we got a trio here in the Southside Jungle who are... well, they're looking for really something, and I guess if you can manage to get in with the Pulverize to start onto Paradise, they have the Kisses, they have the Blast Off, so... yeah, they wanted that exact play. Paradise, though, Spidey senses tingling, recognizing somebody's probably eyeballing me. He TPs himself top, and now if Wolf Team want to fight, they've got to go mid, but that's a mid fight into 3 or 4 heroes. Although those heroes are trying to take your tower, so maybe they just try and go in here, if not for a team fight, but at least for a tower defense.
Oh, and well, Card's still alive, tower's still chunking away. Okay, Snapfire Cookie maybe trying to be a little bit dangerous here, but this is slowly but surely working. Isn't the most effective push I've ever seen in my life, but Rune, okay, Suits in between, doesn't get hit by the stomp, so nabs the DD, but I don't know, with nothing hitting, I guess both carries are just farming, and you're maybe getting slightly more from Wolf Team just because you're getting farm, but oh,
Marcy. That is a very strange interaction. He tried to get in with the Dispose just as KJ got the Cookie stun. Now the Pulverize gonna catch out Fade. There's that combo. Pulverize into Mortimer Kisses, you know, I don't know. You don't really think about it as much as maybe that Pulverized Mystic Flare that we've been seeing earlier in the event, but it does quite a bit of work.
No, yeah, it's enough, and you are still, again, getting more out of the map here, and I feel like for Felt, just walking onto the low ground like that, didn't really expect Seuss to find an opening, but he just does. And then the fight happens, and now behind the tower, we'll got to be a little bit careful here. And Seuss, I think he's going to give his life away, but
Blast
FCR's
off.
trying to make it close, but
They've still got the silence onto Solji. Now they get the ensnare. And they need a little bit more damage, and they do find the kill, but here comes Paradise in with the Chronosphere. They're going to try and take down multiple heroes. FCR dead first, but here comes the onslaught. King RD's in. Do they want this, though? Song of the Sirens being channeled, but it looks like HFN just says, I'm going to use this to TP out, and that is going to be a definitive end to the fighting. So, if you're Paradise, honestly, that isn't quite what you wanted. That's a nice 3-man chrono, but FCR is the only kill that they pick up. And now, okay, there's going to be the duel. That's going to cancel out the Pulverize from King RD. Does he win the duel, though? Yes, he does. First win, plus 10 on the LC. KJ, that's okay. Gets a little bit of murder done there, but he is going to pay for it.
Yeah, gets punished, as he should, but KJ just wants the solo kill, eyes it up, but you know, a little bit strange from King RD to be sticking around in that situation. Probably could have just
FCR is trying to solo, and he does solo. Wow.
Wow.
That's not supposed to be doable.
Hey, it's the combination of him getting the Ag Shard, him having the spell amp from Kaya, you know? It's a lot of damage that this techies can do, and Paradise just doesn't respect it for a second, and then gets punished because he doesn't have that big stat item yet.
And here's where FCR is really putting on a bit of a show reel, perhaps, for any of the other SA squads. You had to ban the Medusa, right? You had to ban some HFN heroes. You opted to ban the Enigma that King RD played, so the techie slips through, and well, it's not going to single-handedly win any games, but it's definitely something that Felt are kind of kicking themselves for leaving in the pool. As well, the Elder Titan does manage to get off the stomp there. Zeus tried to get some swashbuckle shenanigans in, but they won't find that kill. They do find one, however, down bot. King RD and FCR working in tandem. They find that pick in the middle lane. They get Solji as well. They're going to tip him a little bit here, too. Trying to get in his head a bit, but they will not get onto the tier 1 tower. Glyph is still going to keep them at arm's length, but ET, you're starting to do the thing again. 6k net worth lead, building some momentum. And Felt, without the chrono, they just feel strapped for plays. It is coming back up in 10, but right now, other than a Chronosphere initiation, what else could they really be working with?
Yeah, it's where Fade, in going for this BKB, will be able to at least just straight up run at you and probably stop any TP coming out from the Naga the Siren. But that's also where you don't have anybody to go in. You need the Quap to almost blink in and then have a rebound target from the Marcy, because without that, these team fights just are not getting started. And it's not like your Elder Titan is going to be trying to start anything. And there you go. They try to get it onto the Pango, but he's going to get his ulti off, and now, well, everything's going to go crazy.
Pulverize, though, but there's going to be the duel into the lockdown, however, and Fade loses it. Extra damage over for King RD, but they want kills at this point. There's the Chronosphere, though. Do they have Sonic Wave? No, they don't. Not for 45. They're still going to be able to take down Zeus, however, but they now have to retreat. Ein didn't get that memo, so he is going to blow up. Maybe they keep tracking onto King RD, but he's holding his BKB for so long. He wants the bait. There's the ensnare. Forces Solji's BKB. But he still has to blink away because the physical damage from the Naga Siren was kind of chunking him down a little bit. So, well, Paradise lives. Solji lives. They get some golden experience. Much needed, but I don't know, man. This BKB can't come soon enough for the LC because these plays just aren't working. And, I mean, King RD's got plus 20 because he won the duel. He is going to lose his life here, though. Quick and easy between Illusion and Paradise, but FCR is going to try and make a play. Does he get this kill again? The kisses are going to do it. That's... Oh, that's so brutal.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, if you are Paradise, you'd probably think, oh, is there a lane ward? Where's the ward? It's not on the high ground, and it's just this cheeky ward that catches him just walking to the lane. And, well, you are going to get a duel win onto KJ. He sticks around just a little bit too long, but Rolling Thunder. Okay, Blink Dagger on Sooth, just trying to make something happen, and rebound. Should be able to connect, and are they just both out, or are they both dead? There's no in-between here.
Zeus still wants it. Fade, though, able to use the press the attack to keep his teammate safe, and at this point, Zeus is just trying to be a distraction, because here comes the rest of the team. They're going to miss with the blast off, though, but they do still get the ensnare. They do still get the bomb down. Earth Splitter really doesn't hit all that well. Not quite doing the damage that they need. Illusion will fall, but Fade is still... Never mind. Fade is not still alive. HFN chases him down in the trees with the illusions, and well, it's messy, ET, but they do manage to make the trade in the end.
They do eventually find some success, but yeah, had to work for it a little bit harder than they might have liked, but man, this triple BKB timing's got to be everything here for Feld. Otherwise, I don't really know what they do. And a large part of it is just going to be running down the Naga Siren and making sure HFN doesn't escape. Nightmare is going to be if he just gets cookied away and he mantas and then somehow he's able to survive through it all and then the team fight just goes awry. Because there is also a BKB finished up on the Primal Beast. King RD has silently just been farming still, largely in that bottom lane, and of course he's gotten picked off a good few times now, but he is also battle ready. He is raring to go into these big team fights, and look right now, they're baiting so hard onto this Pango, but here's your team fight, and he does decide to escape, but King RD, well, that's a kill.
He's in for the quick one. BKB active. Mortimer Kiss is coming in, so Illusion is probably going to go down. No, the Kisses actually don't have the range, so he will cancel it, but Illusion does still fall. Solji, meanwhile, got to be careful. BKB wearing off, but Fade gets off the duel. Seuss in trouble. Seuss taken down, but will Fade be able to get out cleanly? He's going to activate a BKB of his own. Now the Chronosphere comes in, but he Chronos his own teammate, so it's only his damage. And look at FCR with the E-Blade to keep his teammate alive into the blast off, connecting onto Solji. They lock him down. Fade in trouble now as well. He tried to go for the press the attack, but he presses before the Scatter Blast comes in, so he's still slowed, and he's still dead.
No, what a greatly executed fight. And for a second there, I thought maybe it was a mistake because the song could have come through to maybe stop out that Pango's duel from happening, and then maybe you survived because he graded out for the BKB. But you burn all the mana of the Quap. He ends up chronoing the Quap. He has nothing. He is absolutely tapped. The Quap definitely dies because he has to make that decision. And again, you have no damage on the Void, though. So unless you can connect with the Elder Titan, who was still respawning from the earlier pickoff, it's just maybe a few seconds away from being so much better of an engagement for them. But that's double BKB. That's 2 cores still going down. Again, the Faceless Void survives, but still feels like Wolf Team are just turning all of these kills into so much more net worth. Each lost team fight is a good 3 or 4K swing in their favor. And now you're getting to that next stage of items. Heart's going to be on deck here for the Naga Siren. And then, again, you look at Felt and you say, do we have enough damage for this? Can we just kill the Naga? Or if we kill the Naga, are we just going to lose to the Pango in the Primal Beast? It's where you can only really choose one core right now. And then you just have to immediately run away because we cannot kill everybody on Wolf Team.
Oh, no, Fade.
Oh, it's so much damage.
That, oh god. I mean, E-Blade there, last time it was for defensive purposes, this time it's just to get the extra damage in, and if you can solo kill, or I guess it's not a solo kill, if your 2 supports can team up to kill any core at this point, that's just too dangerous. But, well, they find the pick. There's now a Blink Dagger up on FCR as well. How is he finding all of this gold? Jesus. He's got a full E-Blade. He's got a Blink. He's basically a core hero.
Yeah, and I wonder what his combo is with Blink, because now what? Are you Sticky Bomb, Blast Off, F-Blade, Mind, run away, you know? Like, like I don't know what Blink exactly changes here for the hero too much, but gives him another tool to perhaps survive the Chronosphere. And again, makes it even more difficult for you to initiate. Because it feels like Felt might even want to just kill him off first. Because, well, if you can't kill anybody because the Naga Siren is threatening to just pop the song, then what are you going to do when now they're starting to get F-Blade saved? Now they're starting to just get their spells off regardless. There's an Ag Scepter finished up on the Primal Beast as well. So King RD is going to break you if you don't pop BKB in bottom. Will Fade. He's not going to pop his BKB, but he might want to. And does the Onslaught kill him? Nope, but it does force his BKB.
Oh, man. FCR is just starting to take this game over. And remember, like, 10 minutes ago when I said, oh, the Techies isn't going to single-handedly win you the game or anything. I think FCR heard and he might have taken offense, because he's doing this. He's finding kills. He's forcing BKBs. He is just cutting off Felt's resources, really just capping it at the knees. And if you're Felt here, you already see, look at the posture. They're all looking defensive. They can farm up a wave as it comes to them, but they realize they can't afford to just stay in that defensive position any longer. They have to try and push forward. They do have the Chronosphere, but Paradise needs heroes to be grouped up, and right now he just doesn't have that. He's going to try to push onto King RD, but the BKB comes through. And now the uproar as well, so they've got to be careful. Do they go for that BKB into the Chrono? Yes, they do. But again, the song still went off, and Chrono doesn't cancel it. So everyone's still locked in place, and Paradise is just barely able to get himself away with the Time Walk. But the Mortimer Kisses are still flying through, still dealing damage. Paradise on half HP. Fade even lower than that. And now he's in trouble. The Rolling Thunder's going to lock him down. Zeus trying to chase into the base. He's going to think better of it, though, and regroup with his team. But it felt like that was just about everything that Felt had, and the Song of the Siren ET just shuts it down anyway.
Yeah, just are unable there, and even got extremely lucky, I think, from Paradise, not only to survive from that first time walk, but then getting enough bashes to lock the Pango from pressing any spells and turning. Probably would have redirected onto him, and then probably would have also resulted in his death. But you've also used everything. And again, even though it's not the craziest team fight win, it's not a full 5-man wipe, it is Wolf Team surging into all 3 lanes, taking all of this farm. Bottom lane, again, FCR, it doesn't feel like it is, but it's Techies Tories down there, and HFN just gets another kill on the high ground. I mean, everything is just kind of falling apart here. They're just unable to do anything. He's got Blink, he's got nothing, actually, for Fade. He wants to make these kills happen. He wants to make these plays, but he's still just blade mail BKB, and he's not snowballed enough. So he can't rely on anybody else. He has to sit on the shoulders of Solji, but Solji as well is running out of damage. He's going to have a Shiva's Guard, but again, that's more of a defensive tool than it is to help with any of your burst damage. It just feels like right now we are snowballing out of control. This is with Wolf Team also not batting an eye at Roche. This could be an even worse lead.
Yeah. At this point, though, ET, I mean, what is it going to have to be for Felt to... Well, at this point, I mean, shifting momentum kind of feels a little bit too tough down 22k, but what do they need to win a team fight right now? Because we just haven't seen that execution out of them yet.
Honestly think it just has to be them somehow finding their way onto the Naga Siren and then just never letting her go, or maybe it's them pushing out a lane and then waiting for the Pango or the Primal Beast to show and then trying to kill them, because sitting on the high ground is no way to win this game. But right now it feels like it's all they can do. Is Paradise barely gets saved there. Did not want to pop his BKB. He knows if he pops his BKB, then he can't do anything versus the Naga Siren. But you have Ag Scepter now on the Naga. So when you do pop your BKB, well, you can still get netted. You are not out of the woods yet. And this is the desperation smoke. They are smoking into nothing. They're just going to try to get the high ground, hope they have enough damage for whoever they bump into. But it feels like it has to be the Faceless Void to lead. And they do see HFN. They break on the mid wave. They will see him.
I think they think that's an illusion. Now they're going to realize that's the real deal. They're going to try and push in. The duel does come through. Will it be enough, though? Can they find the kill? The Chronosphere is going to be deployed as well. The Song of the Siren was not used, so they are still hitting. But King RD is the only one to fall. HFN, though, does eventually go down. But now they need to be careful. Now they need to get away. The Mortimer Kiss is coming in. Fade dropping low. Solji running out of time on his BKB. He's going to get stun locked. Not able to get away. Still gonna be a win unless they can lose a couple more heroes, and yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. They'll lose both of the supports. Paradise now fighting alone. Buyback's gonna come in from the Legion Commander, so he is making his way up. No duel, but he is gonna be here for support. Zeus doesn't care, though. Zeus is just going right back in.
He does not care.
Oh my god. Cookie stun onto Fade, locks him down. Time dilation, not gonna be helpful because in comes FCR, gets the stun, gets the lockdown, gets the kill. And Felt, I mean, first half of the fight, ET, perfect. Fantastic. Exactly what you wanted. And then you just get suckered into a second round that you don't have the resources for.
Yeah, and I think originally they feel like they need to try and help out the Faceless Void a little bit more, just because he is going to run at and run down if there isn't that buyback. But then, yeah, they get ahead of themselves. You have so much shield damage reduction from the shield crash. And the funny thing is, it is still a very important win for Felt. Taking out the Naga already puts so much less pressure on their lanes, but it's everything. It is 3-4 ultimates. It's all of their time, and they even barely got that. If he got that song off, oh god, I don't even want to imagine that possibility. But that's also where for Wolf Team, might be time to just force the Roshan, make it another impossible situation. HFN's going to TP bottom, going to put his Naga illusions out onto that wave, and then mid, and then probably meander over towards the pit. And then if they get him an Aegis, I don't know what you do. That's where you do run out of spells. You just don't have enough ultimates to actually take him out. They could also decide to move the goalposts and then just try to find King RD first, but That's another 3,500 HP target with BKB that also seemingly will not just die.
Yeah, their options are rough. No matter what, you need to be hitting some big spells onto those primary targets. But hey, they did it once. But as you said, ET, if Wolf Team get the Aegis, it took everything, literally every single thing that they had to get that kill. So if they had to do it twice, it would not work. Although at this point, they just need to survive this fight. Ein's already dead, but they did get the duel on the Su, so they'll lock him down. And with the Pango out, that's a large portion of that damage and lockdown. He finishes the TP. Did he just... He just spat an illusion at them. That's insane. As the Chronosphere from Paradise, this is not what you wanted. He has to get away. He's going to try and hit up FCR, though, but that just sets up for the song. Do they go back in? No. Okay. They have control of the pit, at least for now, but ET, can they take Roche fast enough before Wolf Team recover and regroup?
Absolutely not. They're on the run. Yeah, they used their Chrono, they used their Sonic Wave. They did get a very important kill, but that is why currently Wolf Team are smoked up running at their points. And they're spitting him in. And oh my goodness, they clipped on Illusion.
Well, King RD, yeah, he's going to Ogre Seal Totem himself down to the low ground, but that was just a little bit of a funky one. They still find the kill, though. The Marcy, however, does have buyback, but Felt couldn't take Roshan. HFN, though, sure as hell can. He's going to push his way in there. King RD coming over with the trample as well, and if you're Felt, can you afford to let this go? FCR is actually, though, just going to single-handedly... Oh, I was going to say he's going to distract them and keep them away from the Roche pit. FCR says, I'll do you one better. He actually just goes in and straight up kills Fade.
Yep. Poor man.
Aegis.
Poor man.
There we go.
And they do just give it straight up to the Pango. Because, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Because he had an Andis queued before this point, but now he can just focus on an Octarine core instead and be even more obnoxious. But unfortunately, this is that nightmare situation. You just don't have enough spells anymore to kill off these cores. You're going to actually have your back against the wall here. And HFN, well, he's hitting. Who's here? Nobody. You don't even have buyback on that Legion Commander. Not the longest TP in the world, but backdoor is there. So they are having to wait for mid, but then it kicks off, and then suddenly you're in the Nightmare Seed situation. Paradise just barely finished off a Mjolnir, so a little bit more damage, and the 20 talent for the Faceless, but again, who are you killing in this team fight? Is it just you simply going for the Naga Siren and hoping you have enough damage? Because it feels like right now that is the desperation at this point.
And while all this is going down, the racks are still just falling. Melee's going to get finished off here. Illusion is in. Chrono has been popped, but the E-Blade's going to be used onto the Naga Siren, so they can't right-click, and they are still looking for that kill. They do manage to get it. HFN gets taken down. The Sonic Wave does a lot of the heavy lifting there, and now they've got King RD trapped up in the duel, but FCR comes in with the blast off, hitting onto 3. Everyone's going to get dropped low, and they all go down. Solji is at least able to blink away, but Seuss able to bash him up. They're trying to get onto the Queen of Pain. Mortimer Kiss it, or One Kiss comes in, rather. But KJ is still going. Cookie stun, connecting. They're going to take Solji down. No buyback available, so... Oh, what do they have left? I mean, it's Paradise and Ein, but they don't have any... Yeah, they don't have any Chrono, and FCR might actually just kill him.
And I think that's it. I think that might just be GG. I'm looking across the board. Nobody has buyback. They don't want to do it, but yeah, at this point, boys, that's going to be it from Felt. But, oh man, what a tough series for them. Just Wolf Team, so much agency, so good. So many great heroes as well. We get to see the Primal Beast techies, and we also get to see why Felt probably should have, even though they did have to deal with a very annoying Enigma last game, ban out the Primal Beast, because, God, it's just so annoying. But also FCR, also deserving quite a lot of respect and demanding it, because he just killed anyone that showed up anywhere. 19-2 and 19. He's got more kills than his mid laner. He's got more kills than everybody, honestly, at this point. But, yeah, no. Standout performance from him. Standout draft again from Wolf Team. Just didn't really have a brittle bone in their body, and Felt ran out of time, ran out of damage. Again, first 10 minutes look great, and then they just lose the plot. They aren't able to progress the game any further, and then Wolf Team get to recover and then even come out ahead, and then everything just turns from team fight to team fight into money for Wolf Team, and then they get to retire to this almost brain dead victory. It just felt so simple for them.
19-2-19. That's illegal. You can't, you can't do that. I don't mean you shouldn't. You're not supposed to be capable of doing this with techies, and FCR just says, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. And I mean, he really is the standout. It's a lot more emphasis on the Naga Siren, the Pangolier, the Primal Beast, but whoever plays Wolf Team next, you have to add that techies to the list of basically mandatory bans.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough cookie. And of course, the last team they knew, and that's why they banned it out. But I think Felt just got a little bit too cheeky with it, and then Wolf Team not going it for in game one. There's two completely different drafts, both ending up with them resulting in the win, and also very frighteningly, both drafts with first pick. So now coming into their next series,
Mm.
I don't know. Does the next team that plays them look at this game and say, do we give it to them? Do we decide to take it away? Because honestly, Wolf Team make first pick look good with what they're able to actually throw down at you. And again, just stand up performances all around. But Felt, see you next time, boys.
Felt first team out here of this playoff bracket, unfortunately for them, but well, you kind of might have seen this coming, right? They were the lowest seed coming into the playoffs, so it's still unfortunate, but maybe it's not unexpected. They were also playing with two stand-ins today, so you do the best that you can, but their run has come to an end. So, in the meantime, we're gonna get ready for our next series. It's the other lower bracket matchup here, Dog Champ versus No Runes. So, we are now a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're gonna have to sort of wrangle those players and let them know that they're getting started a little early. But we are going to be moving into that one, I believe, as quickly as we can.